Hello again. Been a while. This is NSJ Doodles. This is my Night in the Woods drawing that I did of May. Uh, as you can probably guess, Night in the Woods was one of my favorite games. I played it back when it was available on Xbox Pass. It's funny, I bring up that game around my fiance a lot when something happens that reminds me of something that happened in the game, and kind of makes him want to go play it himself. He hasn't yet. He's kind of like me. Gets a little sidetracked. He's it's like, oh, I have all these things I should be doing, but ah, I don't know what's him with like us with video games. Sometimes there's all these video games, but you're just like, I have nothing to play. Ah. Anyway, that game was an experience. You can relate to a lot of the characters, especially if you're fresh out of high school and you're not really sure what you're doing with your life. Heck, I'm in my 30s and I still don't know what I'm doing with my life. If you're just tuning into my videos, thanks. These videos are more of a hobby than anything else, than me trying to make it big, be the next so and so that rants to videos of their drawings. There's no real topic in these videos. It can be about everything and nothing at all at the same time, and that's fun about it. Anyways, I'm kind of related to each character in like a different kind of way. Did a lot of dumb stuff as a young 20 something. It makes me look back and question, how are you still alive? Or why were you so dumb? Why did you think that was a good idea? Sure, we all have. We look back at our younger selves and think, what were you thinking, you dumb kid? What made you think that that was a good idea? I just fucking said that. uh, why are you repeating yourself? You old person. Anyway, um, as a young when you're like, I don't know, fresh out of high school, still in high school, you have to tend to have this naivety about you. Naivety? You're a little naive, and people tend to take advantage of that. Boy, I have a story of that. I was just moved to San Antonio. This was some time ago. I was in my 20s. I was living at a little apartment with my mom at the time, and my first job was at a fast food joint. I'm not gonna name any specifics, but it's one of the you'd recognize the you recognize the logo. That's like that narrows it down. Um. Anyways, that was my first job, walking distance. Ugh, it was a bit of a stressful because it was like near everything, near like a hospital, so like we could occasionally get like a helicopter. We were trying to take orders in the drive-through. You're just like, yeah, and I'll have like a, and I'm like, really? Ah, and I had to like stick my whole like half my body out the window and be like, hold on a moment. I was like, what were you saying? uh, well, anyways, I worked at this fast food place, and my naive self was like, I live walking distance, like to the managers. I'm here anytime you want. Blah 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 blah. And I think like a guy that one of the guys that I work with overheard. So when I ended up not surprisingly quitting because I could not handle the stress at the time. I was not in a good mental place at that moment. Uh, yeah. And well, I ended up working at a after that job. I ended up working at a amusement park. And on my day off, there's a McDonald's that was nearby. Uh, there was a McDonald's that was nearby, and I would go in there, use the Wi-Fi, get some food, and that guy that I worked with there, I'll call him Sussy Susserton. He was there, just do. Well, I would find out he was more or less trying to find out where I live. And then we ended up talking, and he's like asking if I was dating anyone. Me being dumb. I was just like, no, I'm not dating anyone. I was like, 'cause I was still had that naive side of me. It's nice sometimes, but I was just like, people can take advantage of that. Like I said, and he's just like, oh, like, we should date. Like, I'll take care of you. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, I'm good. I just wanted to be friends. That's what I wanted. Just moving in there, moving to San Antonio, and not knowing much people. And he's just like, well, I need, like, he ended up saying that he needs a girlfriend, which is like red flag. I don't know if any of you has ever watched like Alex Myers videos. He does like he reviews like a lot of dumb movies, but he reviews a lot of like those Disney Channel movies. But when there's like a red flag situation, he does like this little animation with like a bunch of people like in the band like waving red flags like do 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 do. It was one of those moments. But my naïve's like, oh, he just wants to be friends. He's a friendly guy. Well, and he ended up leaving. Before he ended up leaving, he's like, oh, like, hit me up. Here's my phone number. Here's my face. Like, find me on Facebook. My name is Sussy McSusserton. My naive side's like, oh boy, a friend. And like my more cautious, paranoid self's like, how to the known friend? Tus nadices, friend. Yeah, it's not a friend. I was like, what was he doing on this side of town? He ended up taking a bus, God knows where. He obviously doesn't live near here. And like in his quote unquote best get up, it's like he came here to find you. And I was like, and friending him, text messaging him, that's his foot in the door. And you're not gonna be able to get rid of him. He's gonna be like a gum on the bottom of your shoe. And you're not gonna be able to get rid of him. So yeah, I listen to my more, I guess, rational, more more paranoid side. I was like, yeah, you right. So I went with that. A couple weeks or so, almost a month passes, and I'm at that same McDonald's, and who else is there? He's fucking loitering around the area, and he comes up to me. I was like, and he's just like, oh hey, and he kind of chats me up, and he's just like, oh, you still want to? I'm still wanting to date. I need a girlfriend, and he tried to like, had like my laptop. Cause I would take my laptop to the McDonald's and use the Wi-Fi. I had one of those little wireless mouses. It was a cheap wireless mouse. But he tried to like reach over and like touch my hand that was on the mouse, and say when he said I need a girlfriend, and like I'm like, like I pulled my hand away from the mouse. I was like, no. I didn't I didn't say no, but he kind of took the hint and was like, well, he saw that I had a food. Like I think I had some a chicken sandwich and some tea. I can never drink the sweet tea. I know. Eh, I it's just too sugary for me. Um, but he saw I had food and he was like, "Oh, could you buy me some food at least?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, and then he ended up asking because I mentioned that I live with my mom, and he's like, "Oh, what time is your mom gonna be home?" And again another red flag. Do 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 do. I was like, soon, soon. The thing is, like my mom, the job that she had at the time, that one day, She was working late. I think it was 3 at the time. She wasn't gonna be home till like 6, 7. So it was gonna be a couple of hours. I'm not gonna be naive, still naive and be like, actually, she's not gonna be home for another 3 hours. If you planned on mugging me or hurting me in any way, nobody would be able to stop you. Yeah, right. I was just like, yeah, she'll be here soon. And that was the last time I ever talked to him. I saw, I would the bus systems, like one of the transportation systems was one of the things I miss about San Antonio. Because you can take a bus anywhere. I can go to the Alamo, I can go to the zoo, any mall that no matter how far it is. Well, I ended up seeing him on one of the buses, and he kind of like waved, but he didn't say anything to me. Thank God. And that was the last time I ever saw him. But kids, young ladies, young youngins, if listen to that and that like something's not right, something doesn't add up. Listen to that voice, because this world is going down the toilet. Every people hurting other people over like nothing. Be careful. If you feel, just listen to that instinct. That'll just might save you. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any suggestions of what you might want to see next, yeah, so leave a comment, subscribe, like, anything helps. Well, this is NSJ Doodles, and I'll see you in the next video.